No pun intended, episode 6. Thank you all for joining, for listening. We have seen good numbers on the podcast. We are very happy for that. Thank you all for reviewing, for watching, for giving us a subscription. Everything helps a ton. We are so grateful. And today we have Chessable Masters Tour Recap, Freestyle G.O.A.T Chess Tournament. We're going to talk about who is most likely to take over the #1 rating spot and then a few shenanigans towards the end. But Matt, people have been asking me about my skincare routine. No, I'm just kidding. Welcome to
Yeah,
the pod. How's the intro? Rate me 1 through 10.
I'll give it a 10. I mean, I was
Okay.
going 8.5, 9 until that ceramide reference, and then I was like, oh, I gotta give you a 10 there.
Yeah, my skincare routine has been really on point. I do nothing for it.
Do you wash your
How's it
feet?
going? Do I what?
Do you wash your feet?
I guess.
Oh, you didn't see that commercial?
No.
Okay. There's you'll have to look it up later.
Okay, I'm not sure I want to. How you doing, Matt? We haven't talked much the last probably since the pod, actually.
Good. So we have the beginner move by move course coming out, and it's 30 games. I just recorded 2 games right before we jumped into this Zoom call. So we're through 14 games now, 16 to go. I'm super excited for that. Have you read the book or seen the book Logical Chess Move by Move?
Yeah, I have a copy of it right here. I made it through the first probably like 15 games when I was very first getting started in chess, but I think I was too new to really get anything from it.
What did you like about it and what didn't you like about it?
Well, it was too advanced for where I was. I was just kind of like learning where the pieces were moving, so it was a little too advanced. From what I remember, he really hammered principles of keeping your king safe and like never moving pawns around your king, which is a good rule, but it should be broken at some point.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I don't remember a whole lot about it. I probably looked at it maybe like 7, 8 years ago.
Okay. So I think it's a really good book, especially for players under 800, like pure beginners. It's an awesome first book. But I think the areas that it fails in a little bit, the games are a very high level. They're
Hmm.
not played by other beginners. And then also there's a bit too much text. And I think players get a little bored or just like annoyed. Like, okay, you're telling me the same thing about 1E4 10 games in a row. Like, I already learned about 1E4. So,
Yeah.
what we did in this course is it's all beginner games and the notes progress as you go. So, we'll repeat things 2, 3 times, but then after that, we're not going to keep repeating it. But we might reference back to a game. Like, oh, we saw something similar in game number 6. You want to go check that out? So Presta J helped with this course. He did all of the text for it, and I'm doing the videos, and then we're going to have quizzes that go along with each game too. So this course is going to be a video course that replaces logical chess move by move, essentially in our recommendations in the study plan.
Yeah, so in our study plan, we have a select few resources that we really recommend. One of those is Logical Chess Move by Move, but I think this is going to be a lot better for just like the average person because A, they don't have to buy the book and like wait for it to ship and like go through each game. But you can just hop on a video and check it out that way. So yeah, that's great. It's nice to partner with Presta J. He's done other coursework for us, right?
This was the first thing that he did for us for courses, but he's going to do more. I won't spoil anything right now, but we got plans.
All right. Always good to take some of our power users, our friends, and turn them into contributors. It's always good to, kind of build a little community. So we're very happy for that. Um, all right. Chessable Masters. Uh, I can't think of a more chaotic tournament.
Yeah.
We were looking at the results before this. I have no idea what happened. I'm looking at the chess.com events page, and there's different divisions, different play-ins, winners brackets, losers brackets, rounds and double elimination. But Magnus won. That's about what I know.
So usually going into a podcast, Jesse and I will prep for, I don't know, what would you say, 20 minutes on average?
I'd say more than that, but like before we're live, I like to like go over the notes real quick and just to kind of like refresh my memory. but man, I'm lost.
Should we say 30 minutes? Because I would say out of the 30 minutes, 28 of the minutes we were trying to go through the cross tables from the Chessables Masters. We have no clue what's going on here.
Yeah, let me bring it up. Okay.
Okay, so the first thing is they had the plans. That was a 9 rounder. And the plans decided how they seeded players into the division placement round. So in the plans, we had a two-way tie for first. Jospam, Jose Martinez, and David Chiaro. I don't know his chess.com username, but with a rating 2655, a little surprising. And then we had a three-way tie for third. Hikaru, Ali Reza, and Samuel, I'm going to butcher his name, Tersakian from Armenia. So three-way tie for third.
Whereas then from the play-in, they get placed into different divisions. So are we going like top, bottom to top?
I would say just go to Division One placement.
Okay, Division One placement. We have Ralph Mamadev. But the story of this tournament, honestly, is Denis Lazovic. He kind of crushed everyone. 2-0 against Naka in round one, eliminating Naka from the winners bracket, which is a shocking result, to say the least. And then I don't even know, Division Two placement. Here's Jeffrey Zhang. Like this makes no sense to me, and I'm like kind of a smart person. Like
So from what
but
I can tell, Divisions 2 and 3 are just they're lower rated players for the most part. So I think you can now focus on just like Division 1 placement and then Division 1 and Division 2.
okay, so then from Division One placement, we somehow get to Division One.
Yeah. And scroll all the way to the left.
Yeah, and so you start here. This is actually the end. You have to know to click these to go farther down the bracket. And so we have MVL versus our favorite guy, Denis Lazovic. He takes out MVL. And then in the next round, he takes out Jose Martinez and he's playing Magnus and he almost beat Magnus.
Yeah, he played really well against Magnus. And Lazovic is fun to watch because he's super solid, but he's also creative. And I believe he plays the Catalan quite a bit from the white side. I like watching him a lot.
Yeah, he definitely have a memorable tournament. It's going to be interesting to see his career over the next couple of years to see if he's really going to capitalize on this. I think of Keimer actually, who we're going to be talking about a little more here. He had an incredible result. I think in Tata Steel Open. This was maybe like 4 years ago. He was an IM and he won the Open straight out. I think he had like a nice comeback win in the final round and kind of lapped everyone. And everyone's like, "Oh man, this is crazy. How is it? How did an IM just beat the entire field full of like 2,600 GMs?" And then now, a few years later, he's in the top 2,700, like a legit contender for the candidates next cycle.
Yeah, Keimer is the fourth ranked junior in the world. But here's the crazy thing with Lazovic. He's 17. Do you know where he ranks on the top junior list?
I don't even think he's over 2,600, right? I would guess he's like 50th,
He's 20th. 2567 is his rating.
2567. Okay, no, I'm surprised that's good for 20 in juniors.
Don't tell
Um,
don't tell Kramnik.
uh, yeah, and then Magnus went on to win. So he is in the finals against Ali Reza. Ali Reza actually beat him in the first match, but then it's double elimination. And in the grand final, round two, Magnus took care of business 2-0, as only Magnus can do. So yeah, if you followed that, you're a better person than me because I could not follow that. Absolute chaos. If I had to give some negative feedback here, what are we doing here? This bracket is insane. There's got to be a better way to follow this, but I'm not seeing it. But great event. Magnus, of course, reigns supreme. I think he's going to reign supreme for a long time.
Yeah, I like the idea of the event and maybe it'll catch on if they do more of them, but just seeing it one time, it was very difficult to pop in and have any clue what was going on. Because I remember watching one day and it was Carlsen Lazovic. People were like, "Oh, Lazovic is going to take down Carlsen. It's such a good game, blah blah." Well, Carlsen beats him. And then I remember reading like Faruja beats Carlsen. I'm like, "Oh, Carlsen lost his own tournament." Nope, Faruja won the losers bracket and then he came back to beat Carlsen in the first time, but then they got to play again. So just the whole thing was a little bit hard to follow when the traditional chess events are nothing like that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so it's really hard to just pop in and figure out what's going on. Negative, but I'm glad that they're at least playing with the tournament format. It's not just a round robin. Interesting to kind of see, I think they're just kind of trying stuff, honestly. I think chess.com in particular is much like they want to try stuff. We got a little glimpse into this in the Perpetual Chess podcast where they interviewed Eric, the CEO, and he said that chess.com made a bid to get the FIDE World Championship and they were going to completely nuke everything and start over. So I think chess.com is really trying to push new stuff. And um, another new event that's going on right now is this OTB freestyle chess. Uh, it's weird. It's just 960, so it's not normal chess, but it's just another format. It's a eight-player kind of round robin into kind of like knockout format after that. Um, and Ding is getting slaughtered.
What do you think of the format? Does it interest you to watch Freestyle Chess or Chess 960?
Um, Not really, to be honest. I would much rather watch a 10-minute game tournament where you play like 20 games in 10 minutes or something like that, and you just get a lot of games, and these games are very high level, but there's still mistakes and still errors and like some time scrabbles. uh I would rather just watch normal chess. I don't really care much for the freestyle 960 thing.
I agree with you. And I think that's what Chessable Masters did right. It was rapid games, but really they need to just pare down that field or almost like call them separate events. Like have a playing event, but have that completely separate and just get us down to the top 8 players or top 16. Because I think the best event in online chess is the Speed Chess Championship, but they do have some runaway matches. So it would be cool to have a couple matches lined up in a day where it's like, okay, Magnus is going to play MVL in, let's say, an 8 game rapid match in one
Hmm.
day.
Yep.
But then the very next day, it's like Hikaru against Faruja, 8 game rapid. And then the third day, they get the two winners play each other. A format like that, I think, would combine the best of everything. It's like, okay, we already got our top players. We didn't knock out Hikaru in some crazy seeding round one, seeding round two. He gets into Division Two, and like no one even cares about Division Two. But it's Hikaru Nakamura. Like, why is he playing in Division Two? That makes no
Yeah.
sense at all.
Yeah, for sure. um Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I really didn't follow the Chessable's Master event that closely just because I didn't really get into it at the beginning, and so I was lost. I mean, my main takeaway was Lazovic or Lazovic, however you say it. Just had an incredible event, and I hope that he continues or something. I don't know.
Yeah, age 17. I mean, he's got a really bright future. And I think,
Bright young talent.
yeah, he's from Belarus, which you don't see a lot of top players from Belarus. And I always think that's cool too to see new countries come on the leaderboard.
Yeah. Any event that Hikaru loses is great. Top comment. Okay, I enjoy it. Okay, Freestyle GOAT. Uh, Ding went zero point 0.5 out of 7 to start the tournament. 6 losses in a row. He started the tournament 0-6, and he took a draw against Faruja in the final round. Absolutely terrible. We were talking before, if someone went 6.5 out of 7, you kind of like wonder, okay, like are they getting like getting a little tip off from their coach or something? Like how bad is it? The world champ is just punting. You just wonder, like, is he okay?
Yeah. And you look at the classical ratings, Ding Liren is still fourth, right? So if Ding Liren would have been, world champ, but he just qualified, like, back in the day, there was a couple world champions that were like 20th in the world. If that were the case and he was half out of 7, okay, maybe. But I don't even know how it's statistically possible for the number 4 seed in the whole world and the world champion to score half a point out of 7 unless something is wrong, like he's sick or just is off for some reason.
And yeah, another thing too is that Ding is just kind of like very solid and very well-rounded as a player. and
Yeah.
he's not relying on very good openings to like play for his advantage. Like maybe someone like Fabi, who's probably people would say he's the most prepared person outside of maybe Magnus, but like it's weird that that he's not able to capitalize in these games when he's such a strong player. It could just be rust too. Like he hasn't played a whole lot, and maybe this is what he wanted to kind of like get back into, or it's not going to affect his rating too. One other interesting thing is we kind of broke this news a while ago that it was sponsored by what's the company Polar?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's sponsored by Polar, the heart rate monitors, and we were thinking, I really hope they have heart rate monitors, and they do. And someone posted a screenshot of Ding versus Faruja. This was earlier today in their game. There's 34 minutes on the clock for Ding, 44 minutes for Ali Reza, so it's plenty of time. And Ding's heart rate is 162. That's
Really?
that's like faster than when I ran my marathon. I am wondering if he actually has some health issues. 162 is a high heart rate.
Maybe he's sick.
He could be. I mean, it wouldn't it would explain like maybe he's just feeling very off or something like that. Um, After the miserable round robin, losing six straight, saving a draw the last round, his next three games he only scores half a point, and he has been knocked out. So Ding finishes with a terrible 1 out of 10 with two draws. I feel bad for him because that's a brutal showing, not far from his first title defense.
Well, while you were talking about it, I actually asked ChatGPT, why would a chess player have a heart rate of 162 being the world champion while playing chess? It has a lot of theories. So I don't know if we want to talk about the theories or not, but there's six different potential theories on why.
Okay, what's the best one and what's the worst one?
Number one is psychological stress and anxiety.
Okay,
That
that's
kind of
probably
lame.
it.
Fitness level was number six.
I don't know. I think Ding's in decent enough shape.
Yeah, me too. It's got to just be the anxiety. He looked
Yeah.
super nervous in the world championship. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Like those first few games in particular?
yeah, I remember after like four games, I think Nepo was maybe +1 or maybe even +2 or something, but Ding just looked utterly defeated. Like his body language was all off, and then he had that amazing comeback. I think he won like the last two games or something like that to top it off. That was a crazy match.
Okay, Chess Simple. What do you think of this for chess performance? Microdosing epinephrine mid-game. So if your heart rate's
Epinephrine,
below a certain threshold, you just take a little drip of it.
is that like Tylenol?
No epinephrine, it speeds up your heart.
Okay. Just to throw off the heart rate monitors.
Yeah.
I'm one that is very nervous and very like anxious over the board, but my heart rate is never over 100. So 160 seems crazy, especially for like a normal game where you have a ton of time.
That just gave me an idea. We're gonna put a heart rate monitor on you, your new one, next OTB tournament. You and I are gonna take heart rate monitors and wear watches.
Okay.
We'll see where we're at. Actually, we should just play a match. Well, you won't feel nervous then. It's gotta be a tournament.
Yeah, tournament game. So yeah, GOAT chess. We are down to four players. Next round, days 5 and 6. That's going to be Magnus versus Noterbeck, who is having a great tournament. He started the round robin in clear first, 5.5 out of 7. He had 4 wins, 3 draws. Yeah, Noterbeck against Magnus. Other side of the bracket, Fabi versus Levon. Levon had a nice win over Keimer today, and Fabiano took out Gokesh D. So old guard holding strong. Noterbeck is the only one moving on of the kind of newcomers coming up.
I was a little surprised by that. I thought there would be two or potentially three of the young guys winning, but I mean the higher ratings are pulling through besides Nordbeck.
Yep. And I think this is going to be the story of the candidates too. I think the old guard is going to hold strong, and no one from the new youngins. I don't think anyone's going to break through. Just a prediction.
Oh, I misspoke though. Keimer is higher rated than Aronian by 13 points in
Oh, really?
classical.
Hmm. I hope Levon has a nice second wind in his career. I hope he can get back to like the 27, 70, 80 range. I've always liked watching him play. He's a funny dude.
Yeah, same here. I mean, if he takes out Fabi, that'll be a big deal. Him versus Magnus in the final, because he doesn't get a lot of press either, Levon.
Yeah, at least in the last few years he hasn't. All right, so if you had to pick, who would you take to take over Magnus in the number one rating? Let me pull up the rating chart right here.
So John is saying Fabiano. Josh is saying Fabiano. I mean, Fabiano is 2 years younger than Magnus, and sometimes Magnus just doesn't care. So that could
Literally.
very easily happen.
Yeah, I could see. I mean, the obvious choice is Fabiano. And he's actually not that, I guess he is pretty far away. 26 points yet. That's a big gap to make up. I think it's going to have to be a combo of Magnus coming down and someone else having a nice run because I don't think anyone is really going to perform at 28:30 long enough to overtake Magnus at 28:30. I feel like Magnus is going to have to dip down below 2800 for someone to overtake him, honestly.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I think Fabi is lucky to be over 2,800 right now just because of the deflation at the top. It's going to be very tough for players to get above 2,800 until that
Yeah,
changes.
yeah. I think it's probably going to be one of the juniors. If I had to pick one name, I would say Gukesh, actually. He can go on some insane runs and just win a lot of games. If I'm going to pick one person, maybe I'll take Gukesh to overtake him. That being said, Wei Yi is severely underrated. We were talking about this not long ago. He is nine in the world now, world number nine. He's only 24. He's been around for so long that people forget he's so young. He's been a GM for like 8 years already.
Yeah, I feel like people are just sleeping on him. Like no one even recognizes why he's top 10 right now.
Yeah. Another name obviously is Ali Reza. I think it's gonna be one of those guys. Ali Reza, Wei Yi, Gakesh. Maybe, I don't know, maybe someone like Norderbeck, maybe Pragnananda, wherever he is on here. Uh, where is Pragnananda? Okay, he's 14.
14, yeah. I think
It's
Norderbeck to me kind of has that it factor where I feel like he's got that potential Magnus in him. And thinking of like who could be the next GOAT. I could see Gukesh D and Prague get in there, but I think Noterbeck has a little bit more of that it factor where it's like he just seems so calm under pressure and he's really good in all types of positions. He's only 19. I don't know. I think he might be the one.
Yeah, I could for sure see it. And he is having a great 960 tournament at the that freestyle tournament. I think that's like a good sign. Like he's comfortable in all kinds of crazy positions. So yeah, I could see it. One of those guys could be the one to dethrone Magnus. Magnus has been at the top for what? Has it been 10 years now?
Yeah, I want to say
Longer?
2013.
Dang, that's quite the reign. And we were talking about this on another episode. Like Magnus has been a clear number one, and then 2 through 10 has been so scrambled over and over for the last 10 years.
Yep. His peak rank number one started January 2010, but I think he lost it for a little bit and then got it back.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
2010, age 19.
yeah. So that's like Prague and Norderbeck right now. They're only 19. People are putting out in the chat. Uh,
And
all right, so yeah, sorry, go for it.
you know what's crazy is everybody would have said Ferrugia not that
Oh,
long ago. And
yeah,
now
for
it's like
sure.
he's not even in the discussion.
Yeah, he kind of took himself out of the discussion because he put chess on the back burner for a while, and it seemed like he wasn't really interested in playing.
But I do have this theory, and I think it holds for top players too. Being super strong in blitz as a youngster is a good predictor for where your classical is going to go. It's
Oh
just
yeah,
this sign of natural talent. So if we look at like the top blitz players, I mean, Ferrugia is up there. And none of those other youngsters have caught up to him yet. Nihal Sarin is really good at blitz. But outside of that, none of those players are even like close to Hikaru, for example, right now. But
Hmm.
Ferrugia, you could say is close.
Yeah, the blitz rating, it's Magnus, Naka, and Ali Reza at the top, and then like a 60-point gap, and there's everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember Noterbeck won the World Rapid, if I'm not mistaken, maybe like 2, 3 years ago. And that was like his first like big arrival on the scene. Maybe it was the Blitz. It was either the Blitz or the Rapid. He won it clear first.
Okay, here's a poll question for both you and the chat. Because I don't think you mentioned him. Hans Niemann. What do you think is the highest world ranking that Hans gets in his career? How high do you think he can get?
Hmm, that's a good question. I would be surprised if he breaks the top like 15. I think he's establishing himself as like on the cusp of 2700 strength. So to get top 15, he'd have to be like 2730-ish. I don't know if he has that. He might. The thing is with Hans is he's still young and he plays all the time. I wonder how many games he played last year, but a lot. I'm bet over 100, I'm sure. And I feel like that is a huge indicator of people who are going to improve as they play a ton of these rap or classical games and classical tournaments. Um, I would say he'd peak out around 25. I say he'll hit 2700.
Okay, so he's 54th right now. Let's see what. Oh, he was number 31 at his peak. So he hit 2708 back in May 2023. He was 31.
Okay. So
Chess
maybe
Simple
like
says 17th.
maybe top 20 is reasonable if he has like a really nice tournament. He's also pretty streaky. Like he can have a really strong tournament and then like a really weak tournament after. Glean your own takeaways from that as you will.
Yeah. I guess the hard thing with that question too is you look at the top list right now, 10th in the world down to 20th in the world is less than a 20-point gap. Like there's so many players bunched up. If you get 2740-ish, 2750, it's like you just gain 2 points and you pass a person or two.
Yeah, 4 through 10 is 12 points.
Nice.
It's crazy.
I'll say
Oh, sorry,
10.
I was looking at Rapid. Um,
No, you
yeah.
were right. It's 2762 to 2750. 4 through 10
Okay.
is 12 points.
So it's Rapid and Classical. I had the Rapid ratings up.
Oh, wow.
All right. Tell me about the Super Bowl ads. Uh, Matt added an agenda item, Jesse's Super Bowl ad. I saw something about Sarah V, Michael
Yeah.
Sarah V, but I didn't have the context. Fill me in.
Okay. So can you pull up your Juno picture?
Okay.
Jesse, 1 year for Halloween, dressed up as, I don't remember the character's name in the movie,
Polly Bleeker.
from the movie Juno. And I don't know if you know this, Jesse, but one time someone mentioned in the YouTube comments, hey, Michael Sarah teaches chess. Did you see that ever?
Yeah, no, he's a like great job, like Michael Sarah, or good job on the podcast hosted by Michael Sarah or something like that.
Yeah. Okay, so there we go.
That's me, pregnant with, I believe, okay, so that would be pregnant with Ezra. So my youngest. And this is the last Halloween costume we ever did. So this is me, Polly Bleeker, and my wife as Juno.
Are you gonna bring it back now that you're running?
I could, but no, I don't think those shorts are have a future for me. I already got rid of them.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, I still have the sweatshirt and I wear the sweatshirt often.
So then Michael Sarah made it into a Super Bowl ad, which was just insane. And I think it was for a face lotion, right?
Yeah,
CeraVe.
CeraVe, yeah, and it's just like some kind of lotion, I think.
But then he had a beard in the commercial.
Yeah, bad one.
Yeah. So what I think they should do, I saw this in the chat. Vanacream is from Rochester, Minnesota. They should get Vanacream up there. Those two compete head to head for like natural lotions, moisturizers.
Yeah, they really should. And Juno takes place in Minnesota, so they have an in already.
Ooh, very nice.
We need to connect these brands and these influencers. Um, my whole life, the only celebrity lookalike that I've ever been like in association with has been Michael Cera. And
Hmm.
Michael or multiple people have told me that. I think it's just like the voice and the general like awkward vibe. But I get that one consistently.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. I've had at least five people tell me that in my life.
Okay. I mean, he's hilarious in movies, so that part makes sense. You got the
Yeah.
hilarity down.
Favorite Michael Cera movie?
Juno's up there. Oh, what was the one? Was it Super Bad?
Super Bad's, yeah.
That was really good.
My
What's
favorite
yours?
is Scott Pilgrim, I would say.
I've not seen that.
Oh, dude, that is a great movie. It's a good one.
We should have a movie night.
Yeah, we should.
So
Um,
that
another sh
segues into that next question. Is that what you're gonna say?
no, I was gonna
Okay.
say he's also great in Arrested Development.
Hmm.
Iconic show. I love that one. When Netflix took it over for the reboot though, kind of went downhill. First three seasons are gold though.
So the next question. Do you remember this Super Bowl ad that involved chess?
No,
What?
this year?
No. Historic.
No, I don't.
Oh, we gotta find this.
Okay.
In the chat, who remembers the chess Super Bowl ad? If you're under age 30, you probably haven't seen it. Involved a former world champion.
It's got to be Kasparov, right?
Yep.
Is it like a deep blue thing?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Kasparov versus Machine Pepsi commercial, December 2006.
Oh wow. Who's playing in
Cody's
the
saying
Super
how
Bowl?
long ago we talking? What'd you say?
No. Who played in the Super Bowl that year?
I don't remember, but the ad is like he's fighting against the machines. So everything like the camera, the video camera, the pop machine, they're all like working against him. I think it like shot out the Pepsi at him and like sent him flying back. But Kasparov is in a uh the world chess champion is in a Super Bowl commercial.
That's great. I can't. I honestly can't imagine Kasparov being signing up for that. So I hope he made a lot of bank. Steelers beat the Seahawks 21-10 that year. I'm pretty sure they had like a 99-yard interception for a touchdown at like the half or something to take the lead.
Yeah, that was a good game. I'm watching the
2006.
commercial with no volume.
I-
It shoots the
2006.
Pepsi at him. He goes sliding across the floor. The elevator doors open. He flies into the elevator, and the elevator doors close, and it says the joy of Pepsi.
Not bad. Very cool to see chess players like in the mainstream like that. Did you watch the Super Bowl this year?
Yeah, for sure. What'd you think?
I watched, I think, like the third and fourth quarters, so I don't think I missed a whole lot of actual game. But it was a good game. Um, I am upset the Chiefs won. I wanted the 49ers to win. Used to live out there, and I'm just kind of sick of the Chiefs in everyone's face everywhere. So yeah, first repeat champs since like 2000 or something.
And I mean, Mahomes is in the discussion for the next GOAT. I know it's still early. Brady was an awesome quarterback, but he's on a quicker pace.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think there's anyone else even like close to the discussion. Um, it's got to be Mahomes or Brady will just live on forever. I don't think anyone's ever gonna surpass Tom Brady though, because he had like what, six Super Bowls, seven, something like that.
Could be Mahomes. Mahomes could play another 20 years.
He could. I don't know. Yeah, Daniel Jones maybe. That's true.
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins. Kirk is legit. I like Kirk. I hardly followed football at all this year, though. I normally follow a little bit, but after the Vikings started like 0-3 or something, I'm like, well, I give up. And then they did the whole Minnesota thing where they get your hopes up, and then Kirk tears his Achilles, and then like backups start doing well, and then it just all unraveled.
Yep, that's Minnesota sports for you. They give you just enough hope just to keep you going, and then they'll take it away. I think Kirk has only won one playoff game. I heard that stat.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Yikes.
in his whole career.
Minnesota. So Minnesota sports curse. Here's a stat for you. Of any metropolitan area that has all four sports teams, so that's baseball, football, hockey, basketball, Minnesota is on the longest championship drought of any metropolitan area by far. Our last championship appearance was the 91 Twins, and that's been what almost what 33 years.
You know what's funny? In my
Okay.
mind, I'm like, oh, like you're saying that stat. I'm like, oh yeah, 91 Twins. Like that's
It's
not
not
that
that
long
long.
ago. And then you think about, yeah, it is pretty long ago.
I was two. I
You were two? Oh,
was
I
two,
was a
yeah,
huge
91.
Twins fan back then. I'd pretend I was all the players.
Oh yeah, for sure. Who's your favorite? Puckett?
Yeah, Kirby Puckett was definitely the favorite. I liked Shane Mack a lot.
Oh
He was
yeah.
one of the outfielders. Chuck Knobloch, I was a huge fan of, stealing all those bases.
Yep. Hitting like 300 all singles.
Yeah. No, he was like under 300 though, too, wasn't he? Like 280 click
Yeah,
hitter.
he's a good hitter though. Cool. If there's any other questions, let us know. Otherwise, I think we're about to sign off. Anything else you want to talk about, Matt?
No, I don't think so. We should definitely do some sort of poll for the next one. Like have some question kind of like who will take the number one rating spot and get some people to kind of give some in-depth answers. I think that would be fun. Kind of dig
Yeah,
into what they say.
that would be cool. It'd also be fun to get some guests on here. So, who would you guys want to see on the pod? Who are your favorite chess influencers who would say yes to a small chess podcast? We'd love to get your recommendations. Um, we got to email Bartholomew and get him on here as soon as that Scandi course drops.
Oh, for sure. And here's who I want to have on.
Ben Johnson, yeah, for sure.
That'd
Ben
be
Johnson,
awesome.
friend of Chess Goals. We did some streaming with him. Was it the last World Championship he went on with? Okay, cool.
Yeah, he came on it for a game with me. Um, Super nice guy. I've been on his podcast, but I plan to read his book and then we should definitely have him on and talk about the book.
Yeah, for sure. I should buy his book too. Have you started it?
I haven't. I've just skimmed through it, but I like it because it's really in line with what we talk about at Chess Goals. Like he focuses on, I think he has kind of a few pillars. I want to say it's like four pillars to chess improvement. Um, yeah, if you guys haven't seen it, check this out. Perpetual Chess Improvement. I mean, he's interviewed so many adult improvers and coaches, and he packed all of his knowledge into one book.
If you guys want to hear a great podcast on chess improvement, he this is a few years back, but he had a long two-part series with Peter Giannatos. He's the I don't know, like the manager or owner or whatever of the Charlotte Chess Club. They do a bunch of GM Norm events, but he has like 3 hours of very good in-depth like how to improve content. It's a great podcast. That's my favorite one of him. Well, I mean, second favorite against Matt's. Just kidding,
Thanks.
Matt.
He can be number
Um,
one. That's fine.
yeah, Feingold also had a really good interview with him. I'm a Bartholomew fanboy, so I'll always vote him up. Okay, getting some suggestions. Ginger GM, that would be fun. Ben Feingold agreed. Yasser, I think we could pull in Yasser. Peter Svidler, yeah, he's hilarious.
Do you think we could get Ginger GM to talk finances with us?
Yeah, I'm looking for a tax guy. Taxes are coming up. I wonder if he would
Maybe
have
fun.
any recommendations.
Maybe like a late March podcast.
Well, he's virtually not coming on the pod. All right.
Pension guy. Yeah, pension guy. We were thinking of forming a
Ginger has
chess goals pension.
Ginger GM has some pretty good chessable courses actually. I had bought I think it was a Jobava one that just like quick starter one that I checked out for a little bit. I didn't end up like adopting it into my opening, but it was really interesting.
Yeah, he also plays the hillbilly attack against the Caro Khan.
Oh, he plays it? Oh, interesting.
Yeah, he has a lot of games in it. I mean, Ginger GM would be awesome. You don't hear much from him since that one news story, but
Yeah, yeah,
everything
he's
that
been
he's put out is super entertaining.
yeah, for sure. He also had a really good series where he was playing Rapid, and like everyone would cheat against him basically, but they were really instructive games. And he has a very like sacrificial style, so it's just interesting. Yeah, Anders Toth. I followed his a bunch of his stuff a while ago. Danny Garmley. I don't know who that is. Is he a GM? Does that name the name sounds familiar, but I can't picture him.
GM, but I don't really know much about him.
Okay. Al Tucher, I believe. I know he's also a crypto guy. Ginger GM is putting out a Trumpowski course. Okay, so maybe he would talk. Gormley is in the Ginger GM. Okay, if anyone has Ginger GM's personal email, let me know. Yeah, he's written a bunch of books. He has Day by Days. It's like one of the first chess products out there. GM Raven. Okay, I don't know who that is.
So we need
Maybe try to.
GMs or
What's
IMs.
it?
We need GMs or IMs.
Yep. Um. All right. Raven. Raven Sturt. Yeah. Sorry, I don't know him. It'd be fun to get Danny on. I bet Danny would come on the podcast.
You think? That'd be
I
cool.
bet so.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah. Um, Pandolfini. Okay, we need like a GM or Edgar Allan Poe character. Like I don't know. I can't tell them apart. Pandolfini could be anything.
You know Bruce Pandolfini?
Uh-uh.
Oh, Bruce Pandolfini was the chess coach in Searching for Bobby Fischer.
Oh, okay.
He's a famous chess coach, but I don't
Okay.
see much of him on the internet lately.
Okay. All right, we'll try to land us some guests. That'd be kind of cool. Do you think we're good enough to have guests, or should we get a few more podcasts under our belt? Asking the audience, are we good enough to have a guest on here, or are we going to embarrass ourselves? I think it'd be fun just to talk to someone.
I think we should start. Yes, good. I think we should start small. Like we could get some people in here leading up to John's Scandi course, and then when his Scandi course comes out, we should definitely hit that big.
Yeah, so we got to start with like the people we don't really like that much, like Ginger GM, Peter Giannatos, Ben Feingold, all these people we don't really care about at all, and have them on the podcast to kind of like, just throwaway episodes to build us up. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe Hans. Maybe Hans would come
Yeah.
on. Kramnik.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe Hikaru.
Yeah, Shaq. I mean, your favorite former top 10 player.
Oh man, that's a good. If
We
anyone
should
gets
just
a
have a
shot,
list.
yeah, just all the enemies we're making along the way. Alrighty. That's the pod, guys. Thanks for listening. Highly appreciate all the support we've gotten. Likes and subscribes are very, very appreciated. It actually does a lot more than I thought it did. We're seeing some good growth across a bunch of different platforms. As always, if you want to watch the complete unhinged show and all the stuff we cut out, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are doing these live. I was a little hesitant about doing these live for the long term, but the chat helps out so much that I think we just got to keep doing it live. It's fun to hang out. So thanks, everybody. That is episode 6. We'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.